They say Aquarians read people like an open book. They see right through them, guessing their motives. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. When Aquarians summon their will and channel their strength, they rise above expectations. This is especially true where the well-being of others is at stake, in business, finance, and projects that people depend on. In this video, I'll show you what makes this air sign invincible and how to harness its power. Let's start with thinking. Where others put a period, Aquarius puts a comma. They find paths where everyone else sees a dead end. They see a system in chaos. They stitch together disparate details into a coherent picture. With one bold innovation, they trigger a chain of change. These people can handle the most complex tasks and projects. But try to confine them, and the light dims. Aquarius is used to leading the way, carving out paths where the maps are still blank. Their condition of invincibility is freedom. For him, she's like air. Cut off his oxygen supply, and he'll disappear, as if vanishing over the horizon. He needs space for thought, exploration, and discovery. He lives by his own rules, values connection, but abhors control, either over himself or over those he loves. He can't be tamed. He can be inspired. Want an Aquarius to stay by your side? Give him an orbit, not a cage. Then the core of his strength is revealed, and he becomes a catalyst for change that elevates both personal initiatives and shared endeavors. And another quality, the ability to stand his ground. Sometimes he's as stubborn as a rock. He rejects ideas if they contradict his inner logic. This isn't always convenient, but almost nothing derails him. Once he's seen his goal, he'll see it through. Aquarius is the wind of change in human form. He sees deeper, thinks more broadly, acts more boldly. Give him the sky, and he'll reach the top. Sometimes, Aquarius works like a perfect machine. It's as if there's a switch inside. Emotions on pause, logic on maximum. What's the difference between a robot and an Aquarius? A machine has no choice. Aquarius does. When it comes to the future and the outcome, he switches to cold, calculating mode. The air of his element encourages analysis rather than dramatization. Facts, models, conclusions, action. That's why he's incredibly effective and dangerous as an opponent. Now about reaction. It's like lightning, no preamble, here and now. Aquarius sees the entire field, like a strategist at a chessboard, calculating moves several steps ahead. He spots risks early and avoids them as if he'd known the scenario from the start. While others get stuck in their worries, Aquarius takes a practical step and sees the task through to completion. He genuinely doesn't understand why he wastes days on the spur of the moment when he can do it in a couple of hours and then move on. And now, talent in his DNA. Aquarius is a natural-born innovator. His brain is the workshop of the future. Ideas come before the calendar. Experiments instead of habits. Powerful, bold, sometimes daring. And that's why they often trigger breakthroughs. Yes, they have the charm of a mad genius, but without the chaos, with engineering precision. They are pioneers in the world of meaning, discovery, and unconventional thinking. Where others see noise, Aquarius sees hidden patterns, like glowing lines in the dark. Others are lost, but he calmly unravels the tangle, layer by layer. He takes on tasks that others retreat from, and doesn't let go until he finds a solution that combines precision, purity of idea, and the element of surprise. A click, and the puzzle is complete. That's why, with Aquarius, the future arrives ahead of schedule. For Aquarius, a task isn't a burden, it's a challenge. And any challenge is a ladder to the top and a chance to discover new territory. But what's most impressive is something else, his personal library of knowledge. For him, life is an endless expedition for facts and experience. He collects discoveries like a sailor charts uncharted shores. Every fact is a faceted stone in the crown of his mind. Every piece of knowledge is a foundation beneath his feet. Learning is as natural to him as breathing. The humanities and the technical are not opposites, but two banks of the same river. He builds bridges between disciplines. He sees formulas in poetry and history in code. People sense this. Respect arises naturally. Any new experience is a treasure chest full of artifacts. Open it and find meaning you never knew existed. Another important trait is self-sufficiency. Aquarius is not afraid to be different and break the mold. His inner compass doesn't ask for the approval of the crowd. Being true to oneself is a must, even if the current is going in the opposite direction. Applause is optional. Among friends, there's ease and humor. In solitude, there's crystal clear concentration. When Aquarius gets carried away, the world narrows to a thin beam. A task, an idea, a result. And another thing, drama is not his genre. Energy is in action, not in scenes. Shouting is not his language. He seems to live on a different frequency, where noise doesn't penetrate. If an argument is brewing, Aquarius turns down the volume. He switches to the language of facts and meaning. A calm conversation, or a quiet step away from a toxic contact, is more important to him than a working solution. A cry for trouble. And this is precisely what makes them a reliable partner, a strong leader, and a person who holds the future in their hands. Aquarius is the cartographer of the new. They gather knowledge, nurture independence, and transform chaos into system. Give them space, and they will transform experience into results, step by step, precisely, beautifully. Aquarius's strength lies not only in brilliant ideas, it is also a rare gift for human connection. They hear people like subtle music. They remove barriers. They unite those who yesterday were on opposite sides. In astrology, Aquarius is the 11th house, a space of friendship, community, and shared goals. It's no coincidence that they become masters of dialogue. In a team, Aquarius is like a moderator of light. They activate trust, give everyone a voice, and direct the conversation to the essence, without pressure, without unnecessary noise. Constructiveness is their element. And now about time. Aquarius doesn't look in the rearview mirror, their gaze is ahead. They easily let go of outdated patterns, hoist the sail, and catch the wind of innovation. The past is a repository of knowledge, not an anchor. Once a lesson is learned, move on. They don't dwell on mistakes because they understand that focusing on yesterday steals tomorrow's opportunities. This explains their flexibility, resilience, and ability to find a way out even when it seems there's no way out. And one more thing, Aquarius is a reliable friend. They'll come to you when things are tough. They'll listen without labels. They'll suggest an unconventional approach, like a lantern in the fog. Their clear-eyed perspective and friendly directness help them navigate the most challenging situations. The world could use more people like them. Imagine a mentor nearby, quietly encouraging them to never give up, embrace change, and get the most out of life. Their optimism is infectious. They shift their focus from what's beyond their control to what's manageable, and they teach them to enjoy the process. In science, technology, and art, Aquarians are pioneers. They're setting new rules for the game. They're turning bold ideas into working systems, and they're inspiring others to do the same. When the world needs action, not words, they're not in the audience. Their sleeves are above the elbow. Charity, urban projects, politics, anything where they can do things a little more fairly, kindly, and equally. Their goal is simple and great. A world where everyone can breathe more freely. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and share in the comments what qualities characterize you most.